Hey guys, it's Joe, Igniting History. How you doing? Welcome to our next episode on the history of the U.S. flag. There's a lot to get into, so we're just going to go ahead and get into it. Remember to subscribe, like, and follow our page. We really appreciate it. So let's get into it. History of the United States flag. We're going to go through all the iterations of the flag here in a minute, but let's just catch up on some flag facts, okay? The Stars and Stripes, or Old Glory, is the official flag of the United States of America. It is a flag with 13 horizontal stripes, alternating red and white, with a blue rectangle in the canton, referred to as the Union, bearing 50 small white 5-pointed stars in offset rows. The current design of the U.S. flag is 27, so there's 26 different iterations of the United States flag. The one we have now is the longest running. Up until that, the 48th star, the 48 star flag ran for about 40 something years, as you believe. The flag you see in front of you is the Grand Union Jack flag, which was the first flag we adopted as part of a national flag. We did not have a flag at the time of the Declaration of Independence. And the Continental Congress would not legally adopt flags with stars, white and a blue field, for another year. But these were also known as the Continental Colors. Okay, a lot of the iterations of the flag you're going to see were flown above certain battles or certain ships, certain regiments. A lot of the flags at first were handmade. Some had blue stripes and red stripes. Some had circular stars. Some had stars in a row. So there was not a standard of the flag until very later on. The idea that Betsy Ross created the first flag is false. She did not receive a sketch from George Washington. That was she was a seamstress, but she did not design flags. That story was disseminated from her ancestors later on in the 1800s, but it has been proven false. There's no documentation of that anywhere to show that she was the first seamstress of the U.S. flag. June 14, 1777, Second Continental Congress passed the flag resolution, which stated resolved that the flag of the 13 United States be 13 stripes, alternate red and white, and the Union be 13 stars, white in a blue field, representing a new constellation. Flag Day is now observed on June 14th of each year. While scholars may or may not agree that the new flag was hoisted in June 1777, but there was one flown at the Middlebrook encampment. That is truth. The first U.S. official flag was flown August 3rd, 1777 at Fort Schuyler under the sea during the siege of Fort Stanwix. So there is a little bit of flag history there for you. Again, we've had different flag designs throughout the years. None of them are really official. Different people have claimed to be the designer of the flag. Even somebody like General von Steuben, who was the Prussian officer who came over to help train the army, he had stated that he had given requirements to the War Board for George Washington regarding flags and the standards for flags. So again, it's a lot of different convoluted facts regarding our flag. The flag in 1795 increased from 13 stripes to 15 to reflect the entry of Vermont and Kentucky. Now, not every time a state entered does not mean a new star was added to the flag. That would get very confusing. Sometimes you would have 4 or 5 states enter, and then the flag would change. However, the 15 star and stripe flag was the flag that inspired Francis Scott Key to write the Star Spangled Banner. It is now housed in the Smithsonian in D.C. in a 2-story display chamber. It's quite something. So there's different iterations. We're just going to go ahead and start with the different iterations of the flag and hopefully some cool facts about them. The Union Jack, again, the Grand Union Jack flag. This is the one you see in front of you. The first flag flew from 1775 to 1777. These 4 iterations were flown from 1777 to 1795. Again, you see the 13 stripes, and that would, that's not going to change. The only time you're going to see changes is within the stars. The 13 stripes, of course, represent the 13 colonies: Connecticut, Delaware, Georgia, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, and Virginia. This flag was in use for 18 years. Next, we see these 2 iterations of the flag when Vermont and Kentucky came into the Union. We just talked about that. This one was lasted for quite a while as well, 23 years. This would be when Indiana, Louisiana, Mississippi, Ohio, and Tennessee came into the Union. You see that the design of the regular design with the rows of the stars, and then this is referred to as the Great Star Arrangement. You don't see this a whole lot, but it is an iteration that you see every once in a while. Next would be when Illinois enters in 1819 from 1820. Again, a lot of these flags you're going to see were only there for about a year. Alabama and Maine, when they came into the Union. Missouri. Arkansas. Michigan, quite a cool design with the upside down star there. Other than the ones with the rows. This is called the US 26 Great Star Flag. This is when Florida entered the Union. Texas. Iowa. I think this one's pretty neat over here. This one on the right. This would be considered the, it's called the 29 Star Diamond Pattern. So as you can see, people got pretty creative with these as they came along. Wisconsin looks pretty similar to the one we have right now. Again, that's 1851. California. Minnesota, you can see just added as a stripe there, or as a star there. Now, funny enough, this is just Oregon. You can see the many different versions of this flag. This one right here is the 33 star Fort Sumter flag. You can see the year is 1861, so you can see the start of the Civil War. The US 33 Great Star Flag. This is the star flag number 2, and then just the regular star flag. So as you can see, and then Kansas, 1861 to 1863. Again, we're right in the middle of the Civil War. The star flag here, this one with the circular star pattern, doesn't have a name for it, like the Great Star flags did prior to it. This did signify the entrance of West Virginia into the Union. This is the West Virginia entrance into the Union. You see that there's got a circular star pattern as well. We removed the big star in the center. No special name for it, unfortunately. This is the when Nevada entered, 1865 to 1867. This is called the 36 star wagon wheel flag. This one here in the bottom right. (1867 to 1877). This is when Nebraska entered the Union. The one down here at the bottom here is called the 37 Star Medallion Centennial flag. Okay, so then we move on to Colorado entering Union. Again, more stars and in a circular pattern. This one was called the 38 Star Flag Concentric Circles. This one here on the right. Okay, so that's that. 1890 to 1891, just have one. This is with Idaho, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Washington entering the Union. This is Wyoming, 1891, 1896. Then we have Utah. They're getting more normalized. Oklahoma for 4 years. Arizona, New Mexico. Now this one would last for 47 years, the second longest run up until Alaska in 1959, and then Hawaii in 1960 to present. So those are all the different iterations of the U.S. flag. Again, there's flag standards, there's flag rules. They're associated with our flag. It's very specific with what you do with it. It's honored with great reverence, as it should be. It's not a symbol of hate or racism or oppression. It is a symbol of freedom and hope. Hopefully it always will be. I hope you enjoyed kind of learning a little bit about the U.S. flag, and there's a lot to it. If you have any further questions about it, please ask or comment, or if you Google U.S. flags, you'll get a litany of information on there that you can find out. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, follow, and like our pages. Tell your friends about us. There'll be a new poll up here quickly to go with the next episode. See you guys. Bye.